and welcome to I'm a Happy Enchilada. I'm Don Culver, founder and host of I'm a Happy Enchilada, and thanks for hanging out with us. Now, this is our very first episode, and I'm super excited about it. Our first topic is huge. I think you're going to love it. It's attention deficit disorder, better known as ADD. But first, I want to take a couple moments to tell you what we're about and where we're headed. So, I want to talk about life. I want to talk about and take a deep dive into self-discovery. I want to talk about managing feelings, cool life hacks, and much, much more. Simple things you can do to improve your everyday life. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not a doctor, therapist, or an expert on much of anything. I'm just a guy who's lived a lot of life and learned a lot about finding happiness and fulfillment. And I want to share what I've learned with you and as many other people as possible. So, a little bit about me. Personally, I grew up in an alcoholic home, which was very confusing and sometimes a bit scary for a young child. It seemed nobody cared or talked about feelings. And my parents, well, they never had those talks that most parents have with their kids about life as they grow up. I did learn to keep my thoughts and fears to myself and never give up any family secrets. I left home at 16 to face the world with no marketable skills, a 10th grade education, and no clue who I was or how I was going to become successful in life. For the next 30 years, I worked tirelessly to become successful, but I was never truly happy or at peace. There was always something missing that I just couldn't seem to put my finger on. Now, at 46 years old, I decided it was time to ask for help and make a commitment to doing whatever it took to get my life on track. What I want to share with you is what I've learned on my nearly 30-year adventure to a life that is more exciting, yet peaceful, and fulfilling in every way. Now, I'll do my best to keep the episodes informative, interesting, not too long in length, sometimes humorous, and always straightforward. So now, let's get to our topic. So, having ADD can create a multitude of difficulties in a person's life. It can disrupt a child's daily life and can last a lifetime. So, here's some symptoms of ADD I relate to. Perhaps you relate to also. Check them out. Impatience. Whoa, that was big, especially when I was a kid. God, it was terrible. Difficulty with concentration. I was unable to concentrate for more than 10 or 15 seconds. Difficulty with focus. How can you focus if you can't concentrate? Trouble paying attention during lectures, conversations, and meetings. That was impossible. Couldn't read a paragraph in a book and remember anything I read due to distraction. There's always these pop-ups in my head like a computer screen. Take me off to the beach. Take me anywhere. Walking through the house, I'd be distracted by things I would see that needed to be cleaned, dusted, or put away. I was on my way to accomplish something. It took me away from that. Struggle with careless mistakes and lack of attention to detail on projects and failure to follow through on instructions at home, school, and in the workplace. Of course, always. I would often avoid, dislike, and be reluctant to take part in tasks requiring sustained mental efforts. Oh, not that. Preparing reports or completing a form? Come on, get out of here. It seemed like daily life required a lot of extra effort, like pushing a wagon along a street that was on a never-ending incline. Ooh, always struggling to get up that hill. Now, in spite of my ADD, I was able to function and just assume my life would always be that way. Guess I assumed everyone else was having to push their wagon up the hill too. Now, I want to tell you my ADD story. It starts when I was around 65 years old. I was talking to a neurologist about an unrelated matter, and he stopped me. "Don, how did you do in school?" I replied, "Terrible. Why are you asking me about that?" He said, "You have a serious case of ADD going on." I was shocked. I thought ADD was only in kids. Well, I didn't do anything about it then. Guess I figured that train had already left the station on that. And it wasn't until several years later, my youngest daughter went to visit her grandparents in Texas. When she returned, she said, Dad, Papa's gone on Adderall for his ADD and says he's more productive than ever and can focus and concentrate without all those distractions." I said, "Oh my gosh, that's so great. I'm going to call my doctor tomorrow and ask if I can go on that Adderall too." Well, I had to go in the office for a visit, and of course he told me I'd need to contact a psychologist to get a psych evaluation before he could prescribe any medication. Well, I got that done, got the official diagnosis, and went back to the doctor to get my prescription. I was excited as can be and couldn't wait to get started. I got the prescription filled and started the medication early the next morning. Took my pills, started my day. By midday, I was beginning to feel slightly different. I had an overall feeling of well-being in my world. I also noticed it was a little quieter in my head. Yeah, not quite as many interruptions. The next day, I couldn't wait to get up, take my meds, and see what would happen on day 2. Oh, once again, not disappointed. More improvement. Yeah, I was over the moon happy. This is a miracle, I said to myself. My mind continued to be able to easily focus and not get distracted throughout the day. Now, my first real test came shortly after getting on Adderall. It was tax time. It was quickly approaching. And it was that time of year when I get my stuff together to take to the CPA. Ooh, it's the worst and most difficult task I have. Usually taking a week to 10 days to complete because I have so many distractions that take me away from that. And then I have to go back, pick up where I left off if I can remember, or start all over again. Now, it's maddening and leaves me mentally exhausted at the end of each day. So I took my meds first thing, as usual, and then went to work. It was almost fun putting all the information together. I couldn't believe how well it was going. And again, no distractions. Remarkably, I was done halfway through the 3rd day. Whoa! Who knew? I had to go back to the doctor after 30 days to tell him how the meds were working for me. When he asked me how I was doing, I said, "Doc, I don't ever want my old life back again. Ever, 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 ever." So, let me sum up the changes treating the ADD brought to my life. It's now a year and a half later, and I find that my life has gone through more good change than I ever thought possible. I feel as if I have a whole new life on the inside, a more peaceful, fulfilling, and happy life than I ever thought possible. It is truly a miracle for me. Well, I've got some great results after my year and a half taking Adderall I want to share with you now. Number 1, I've developed much more patience in my life. Patience with myself and others. It's good. Number 2, I'm fully present and laser focused throughout the day. Nobody would have ever described me in those terms, ever before. Number 3, I have complete concentration on any task at hand and bring all tasks, large or small, to completion easily. That was not me as well. Never was. I was all over the place. 4, seldom distracted in any way. I can now walk through the house without anything yelling at me. 5, no more pop-ups in my head. My head remains quiet every day. Yay! That is good stuff there. Now, 6, family and friends. They haven't noticed any change in my personality at all from taking these meds. Brand new me on the inside. Same old me on the outside. I think that's good, don't you? Number 7, virtually everything inside my head has changed. Ah, it's so great. And now, my life road, you remember the life road? It's running slightly downhill. My life is much easier. That wagon rolls much quicker now. Now, all of these changes have made me so much more peaceful. And my productivity, well, it's through the roof. My self-esteem, it's at an all-time high. My appetite remains good, and I sleep well at night. So cool. Also, a couple of unexpected bonuses. I've lost 25 pounds. What? And the ringing in my ears? Oh, bye-bye. That's all disappeared. Don't know why. Anyway, if you think you have ADD and you want to do something about it, but not sure what to do to get started, I would suggest this. Number 1, start with a visit to your doctor. If you don't have one, get one. It's important. Make sure you can take these meds. Also, you may have to take an EKG. It's a very simple, painless thing that sometimes they'll ask for. 2, ask your doctor for a referral to a psychologist or psychiatrist to administer that psychological evaluation. All right? Then, number 3, get that diagnosis, then go back to your doctor to get your prescription. That's it. The process is not that bad. Now, that's how it works at the present time here in Florida where I live. And shoot, it may be different in other states, different where you live. So check with your doctor first. They'll have all the up-to-date information on that now. So that brings us to the end of our very first episode of I'm a Happy Enchilada. I sure hope the information has been helpful to you or to someone you know or someone you love. What I've shared is of my own experience. Yours, it may be different. There are several medications to treat ADD. Just so happens, Adderall worked for me. I was lucky. Thanks for watching, and I'll be looking forward to you right back here for our next episode titled, Are You a Rescuer in Your Relationships? Ooh, that'll be a good one. In the meantime, God bless and take good care.